This edition of Behind the Action is brought to you by Vite Ramen, the instant ramen with 27 grams of complete protein, vitamins, and minerals to keep you playing at your best. Learn more at the end of the video.
I'm a best tracer in the world.
Saebyeolbe, World Cup winner with South Korea, the face of the New York Excelsior and their captain, who led them to a completely unheard of 34-6 season. Saebyeolbe was seemingly unstoppable, being named one of the best, if not the best tracer of all time. But something was coming. Something not even he was ready for. Goats. Goats quickly dominated the Overwatch League, making Saebyeolbe's signature hero, Tracer, a non-viable pick. And as Goats rose up, the married man meta faded away. However, Saebyeolbe had different plans.
Weakens the London Spitfire, and as the engagement begins, they realize that they are outmatched. Not having that mech to rely on, that hurts. The fire strike couldn't be mitigated.
Charge again throughout the fight. Now, exacerbated. Saebyeolbe finally gets the chance to use an EMP, but Ocean's in the back. He has to run away, but he's caught by a Monic grenade. Jong-ryeol makes the switch to Ana, and it pays off now. New York finally break through. It took everything they had.
Which has really been nice here for NYXL. Big EMP here, Saebyeolbe's gonna line it up.
God, he's just been making a beeline for Bidoshin at every opportunity. Shutting down the Zenyatta play. We talked about Bidoshin.
Taken away from Thor.
Wouldn't have the opportunity to use it when it counted. Oh, he's lost his shield. Saebyeolbe, that EMP comes in, and Zenyatta very vulnerable when he's hacked. That's pretty much done and dusted right there. That second checkpoint will be captured.
Like you literally self-destruct into the corner, cleverly placed. Gonna force Moon to turn his gonna force Mono to turn his back, but there it is once again. The EMP comes through. SBB gets the job done for the NYXL, and it will be the NYXL taking the series 3-2, dashing the hopes of the Houston Outlaws.
This is the return of Saebyeolbe. NYXL made the extremely uncommon move of subbing out their Diva player for a Sombra specialist instead of simply having their Diva player flex onto Sombra as most teams do in order to retain the ability to go back to a traditional 3-3 composition or use other compositions that also utilize Diva. Why did they do this? And how was Saebyeolbe's performance so drastically different from Meko's on Sombra that it justified putting him in? Looking at their match against the London Spitfire, NYXL had only one objective in mind: shut down the Spitfire Zenyatta player Bidoshin, possibly the only Zen player capable of matching their own Jong-ryeol in terms of deadliness. Let's see how they use Saebyeolbe's Sombra to achieve that. As London crosses the open ground, we see Saebyeolbe targeting Bidoshin, who is lagging behind. This forces Birdring to use a repair pack on him, a critical resource London will not have if NYXL decide to rush them now. Nor does Saebyeolbe actually translocate away, knowing that London are very reluctant to turn around and rush him, which would use up even more resources and leave them out of position. As a result, he simply sticks around and kills Bidoshin, ending the fight before it even begins. Bidoshin has respawned and needs to get back to his team, but London know Saebyeolbe could be lying in wait to ambush Bidoshin while he walks, or rather, floats back. Hence, they send Fury back to protect him and use Defense Matrix on him if Saebyeolbe is indeed around. This allows Jong-ryeol to land a massive volley onto Fury, taking him down to half health and building more than 10% of his ult charge. Fury continues spy checking for Saebyeolbe, but he reveals himself anyway when Fury is looking away and nearly kills Bidoshin for it. Libero also builds some ult charge in the process by giving SBB a repair pack. We therefore see how one simple kill at the beginning of one fight leads to multiple members of the NYXL getting value and building ult charge out of it. By now, Saebyeolbe has done so much damage while London was rotating to the high ground that he has actually built up an EMP. A mistake from Gesture as he begins swinging while Birdring goes back to protect Bidoshin allows SBB to EMP in a position where Bidoshin's Transcendence will not save Gesture in time.
With the Zenyatta as well. He doesn't do it, but Ocean comes down to get the Transcendence, but Jong-ryeol's picked off Gesture before he can benefit from the healing.
So, when we get to the next fight, Quatermain has not built up Sound Barrier yet due to how long it takes, and Bidoshin does not have Trans available for Nene's grab.
Graviton Surge on the high ground, why not? Oh, London! London calling. They need to bring their team back and give them urgent medical attention.
Overwatch League analyst Sideshow brought this up in the halftime segment, so we shall not go over the ultimate economy much more. Instead, we want to focus on how Saebyeolbe is playing Sombra slightly different from any other Sombra player. He does farm his EMP by shooting tanks at times, but more often than not, his main target is the enemy Zenyatta, to remove him from the fight rapidly or, if that is impossible, to draw resources away from the enemy team. Moving ahead to the third map, Hollywood, we take a look at this fight. Here, he gets massive value as he hacks Jester out of his Earth Shatter. London realizes he is nearby, and Birdring uses Shield Bash and Whip Shot to take him out of the fight. At this point, it might seem like the fight is already lost for NYXL, but Jonak and Mano have other ideas. Nuss turns around and suddenly realizes all of his teammates are at critical health, and the NYXL clean up with Mano's nano-boosted Fire Strike.
Look how low the rest of the London Spitfire are. Mano gets 2 with the Fire Strike and a nano-boost to boot.
But why were London not able to stop this? Since Birdring already used both his stun and whip shot on Saebyeolbe, he has nothing to punish Mano as he walks forward with Nano Boost and a Nade's Bubble. As Jester tries to swing back, Jonak lands another anti-nade on him in profit, and Mano hits a massive Fire Strike which hits 4 members of the Spitfire. Here we see that the value Saebyeolbe provides extends beyond simply killing Bdosin and building EMP. He also forces the enemy team to use valuable resources to stop him, allowing his team to have the advantage in the ensuing fight. Assassinating targets with EMP. In the next fight, observe Saebyeolbe's laser focus on Bdosin. Bdosin already messed up in the previous fight, using his Transcendence for no apparent reason, which might have been a misclick. Despite this, Saebyeolbe still chooses not to focus on EMPing the rest of the team, which he could have done because there was no Transcendence to counter it anyway. Instead, his EMP has eyes only for the Zenyatta, which will take him down to 50 HP and remove his powerful Discord Orb immediately, making it much easier for the NYXL to push forward and clean up without fear of getting focused down. It's a bonus that SBB actually catches all 6 members with EMP. In the final fight of the round, Bdosin has still not managed to rebuild the Transcendence he threw away, but NYXL know that if they allow him to stay alive, he will almost certainly get it and stall the cart further. Hence, SBB again targets Bdosin first and chases him around the pillar to confirm the kill over going for the easier targets such as Prophet Zarya.
Shutting down the Zenyatta play. We talked about Bdosin as a key player at the start of this match, and he has been nullified once more by Saebyeolbe on that Sombra.
Let's move on to the London's attack round. London used the strategy of simply rushing into NYXL and overwhelming them with superior damage in a brawl to take point A quickly. NYXL needs to hold this choke to give themselves the best chance of stalling out the cart, and this is where Saebyeolbe comes in. Timing his decloaking with NYXL's soft engagement and Fury's turning around, he one-clips Bdosin and again ends the fight before it begins. Sure, Bdosin could have used his Transcendence to save himself, but all that would do is open London up to a massive EMP from Saebyeolbe with no way to counter it. In fact, this is what happens immediately after. Saebyeolbe again tries to assassinate Bdosin, and he reacts with the Transcendence to prevent the EMP. But Saebyeolbe never used his EMP, and now NYXL can simply kite back and wait out the Transcendence before engaging with their EMP. Unfortunately, NYXL appear to wait too long, and as a result, London just rushed them before Saebyeolbe can do anything.
To split them off and push forward. Bdosin builds up another Transcendence during that?
Here we see the second way in which Saebyeolbe uses EMP. This time, Bdosin is not the target for 2 reasons. First, it is likely that NYXL thought that Bdosin didn't have Transcendence, mainly because Jonak is only 50% of the way to his own. Surprisingly, Bdosin somehow managed to build a whole Transcendence in the previous fight. And secondly, look at where Saebyeolbe is looking. His targets are Jester, who is ahead of his team, as well as Nuss, because of his sound barrier and ability to escape fights safely.
Saebyeolbe, I was about to get his Batman impression on. Down he goes. Bdosin gets EMP'd, and he can't hide away from this one. There's really not much to be done.
It's sheer luck here that Saebyeolbe hits Bdosin as well, but Jester would have gone down even if Bdosin had Transcendence. So, what are the main principles behind Saebyeolbe and the NYXL Sombra play? First, go for assassinating the Zenyatta over farming EMP on tanks. It's easy to get lost in the amount of damage you put in and the rate at which you can build EMP, but sometimes a single assassination can be as valuable as using 6 ultimates. Second, even if you can't assassinate the enemy support, try to force them to use resources on you. Things like Defense Matrix, Shield Bash, Whip Shot, and Zarya Bubbles are all extremely important in GOATs, and if you can create a small advantage for your team, that might be all you need, especially in a team as coordinated as NYXL. Former NYXL coach and current Washington Justice head coach, Wizard Hyung, once said attention is a resource, and even drawing some enemy attention could be enough to swing a fight. Finally, if all else fails, just use your EMP to assassinate someone. You'll notice that Saebyeolbe never actually solo EMP'd Badosin when he had Transcendence up. This was partly because Badosin had been forced to use Trans at other times, but also because Badosin would have reacted appropriately to Saebyeolbe appearing in front of his face. Instead, use your EMP on out of position targets, or when you know the enemy's Zen does not have Transcendence. That way, you can easily win a fight off the first elimination, or guarantee that the enemy's Zen will not be able to build Transcendence to stall or turn the fight around.
So, you were saying that you were the best Tracer in the world last season. Do you believe you could become the best Sombra in the Overwatch League this season?
노력해 보겠습니다.
I will try my best. Guys, do you think, yeah, he could be the best Sombra? I believe so too.
That's all for this episode of Behind the Action. What do you think of Saebyeolbe's return? Are you excited to see him back on stage? Do you think the NYXL Sombra play will be enough to challenge the top 2 Vancouver Titans and San Francisco Shock? Let us know in the comments below. And now, a message from our sponsors. Vite Ramen started as a dream by twin brothers to play better with better nutrition. Now, they're a small team making the world's first nutritionally complete instant ramen, loaded with tons of protein, vitamins, and minerals to keep you feeling and playing at your best. All for less than the cost of a fast food meal. Use our code ACTION10 at checkout for 10% off your purchase. Check out the link in the description below.